everybody for tuning in. This is Mo from Such a Natural Salon, located right in the Village Grosse Pointe at the corner of Kercheval and Cadieux. That's 16824 Kercheval Avenue. I've been located here for about 3 years. I actually just celebrated my third year February 1st. Being an entrepreneur, I've been working as a stylist, I've been working as a stylist and an independent contractor throughout Metro Detroit the past 10 years. And I've always looked for opportunities to showcase my work or present some of the things that I know to the community as community outreach and just as a way to give back and add value or provide value to the community from which I come. So today in this talk or live look and learn, I'm going to be covering a couple different styles or variation of two-strand twists. I have a few mannequins that are kinky hair mannequins, which, it took some research to find. And this is just this whole Detroit Starter Week. I want to kind of pause and say how grateful I am for this opportunity to be on this platform because this is huge for my small business. Although I've had some other opportunities over the years, this is just a great opportunity for me to be placed in front of a multitude of eyes and ears to give me some higher brand visibility. So I'm happy to be here. But as I was mentioning, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showcasing some work on some kinky hair mannequins, and I have three mannequins. The first mannequin you're going to see is going to have flat twists, and with only using the length of hair on the mannequin head, it is showcasing flat twist and two-strand twists. Then I'm going to move to a mannequin head that has flat twists but incorporates a crochet braid, and on that mannequin head is where I'm going to be actually starting the physical work of showing the installation process because I already have the base braids and I've already actually started the installation and twisting down of the hair, but I did leave an area to show you all the actual two-strand process of attaching the hair for a crochet braid and twisting down the hair for a two-strand twist crochet incorporated into a flat twist. And then the third mannequin is me showing actual individual two-strand twist extensions. These are all services that I offer, and I'm going to get right into it. So this first mannequin head is just me actually showing the mannequin hair length and two-strand twist in the top for a bang look with flat twist around, coming up and around its head. The second mannequin that I'm going to be working on is her right here. She has flat twist in the back with two-strand twist extensions in the top. Now I did leave the braided area loose for the base braids for the crochet braid I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to show you all how to install some hair for crochet braid and twist it down. So just getting set up, making sure you can see my working area. And I'm back. And the type of hair that I'm using, I'm going to be talking about hair also while I'm working. So I prefer to use Afro Kinky bulk hair. It is a fiber or synthetic hair. And I'm going to lower this mannequin a little bit so you can get a better look. So with the braid, or with the latch hook, okay, so let's just talk a little bit about crochet braids. Crochet braids, it can be also, is a name of a style that can also be interchangeable with latch hook. latch hook styles are kind of like very old style. I used to wear them. My mother used to do them for me when I was a child. But either way, the crochet braid name is the new age name for latch hooks. And what you do is you have a foundation of braids. Depending on how you want the style to lay, you do different braid patterns, but you keep it kind of simple. And with the braid foundation, you attach hair to the braid. So what we have here is the remainder of this braid pattern. And I did a beehive right in the crown. Just go in with the latch hook, and you put the hair on the latch hook, close the latch, and you pull the hair through. There's a loop, and you pull the end through, and you pull it through twice, and then you pull it down. You kind of have a good knot to a degree to hold the hair in place while the client wears this style. And styles like this actually can last anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks because it's a stationary style. You have your sides and back flat, while this top is more flexible and more durable since we're adding extension in. Um, and that's really the whole purpose of incorporating the flat twist for my client, excuse me, the crochet braid for my clients. Oftentimes people may, be transitioning into natural, or they have natural hair already and it's just not quite long enough or flexible enough for what they intend to do with it. So the crochet braid is kind of like a much quicker alternative to doing individual twist extensions. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be getting into how to do individual two-strand twist extensions as well. So this hair color is a number 4, and like I mentioned, this is just the hair that I prefer to work with, Afro kinky bulk hair. And I later on we're going to cover some different brands that I work with as it comes to the topic of this particular texture. But this is the go-to texture for me because it's very lightweight. It's easy on the fingers, as actually twisting it down and installing it is not like rough or anything like that, and it mimics the texture of Afro kinky hair. So I've just got just a couple more pieces to install before I can I get to the portion of showing you all how to twist the hair down into two-strand twists. And just gonna go through that. Couple more pieces here. As you see, I'm kind of flowing through this relatively quickly compared to like giving someone individuals or box braids or something like that. It's a very quick style, very quick and convenient. So just this last piece here.
Just want to let you know you got a quick little question over here. It says, will you cover flat twists?
Okay, the hard part about flat twist is I can't cover it today. It's a bit more involved, and I do want to mention that I am open to doing classes, one-on-one classes or virtual classes on the subject, so I can be a bit more detailed, because this is I have time constraints today. So I appreciate that question. It's an excellent question. I wouldn't be able to cover that today. So now we're moving into the two-strand twist. I'm twisting it down. So I did mention I'm using a number 4, but there is some number 27 in here just for a bit of highlight. And again, like with obviously we know with extensions, some people can do color addition obviously without adding any damage to their hair. So that's one bonus. to doing this particular style. Um, and also you'll see that it doesn't take very much hair for the style to be full. Like it looks like a lot because it's fluffy and kinky. It, like I mentioned, it mimics our own hair, but it's it's not a lot of hair. And you actually, with doing crochet braids, you don't really want to use a lot of hair because it can get very bulky and um, not very versatile very fast. So I prefer to work with loose hair with a crochet braid installation versus the pre-twisted hair. Um, but that's the topic. Oh, I see that you got to get back on the road. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, Rashida. Yeah, so I just got a couple more twists here, and I'm gonna be able to show you um, a bit of how you can pretty much change this style around. Like, obviously, we all know that having longer hair, you have more options with styling. Um, but incorporating this style will, you know, boost the person who's not exactly satisfied with their own personal hair length. It will give them some flexibility in that arena. And like I mentioned, the flat twist updos, and then also you could do braided or flat twist updos. Braids, of course, are going to last longer because braids are more taut to the scalp um, compared to flat twists. And when I say everybody's preference is different, let's just be clear about that. But it's just that flat twists get frizzier faster. That's primarily what I mean by last longer. So if you're a person that prefers a more polished look, then you would potentially be taking down a flat twist updo earlier than someone would take down a braided updo. So I just got two more of these two strand twists, and we're gonna move into pinning up twist, you know, kind of doing a brief showcase of, you know, how you can modify this style. Obviously you can leave it down, but it's just to show the options available. And again, this hair is so lightweight. It's really I mean, personally, two strand twists are my go-to style. So it's kind of like um, I get happy because, you know, I don't have to worry about if I get rained on or if I want to go swimming or something like that. It's not heavy like how box braids can be. Oh man, it could sometimes it could feel like a ton of weight on your neck, and you don't really you want to stray away from styles that can strain your neck and back as much as possible for obvious reasons. But I will give you all a tour of my space. I'm working and doing the talk today inside my salon suite. But I got the light set up, and you won't really get the proper um, look at how my setup is here. But um, yeah, I'm doing this broadcast from my salon. Um, it is a private suite, so when I take clients, it's just myself and the client, and I prefer to go by appointment. So I'm typically like with the time, like when I'm done with one person, the next person's rolling in. I don't really have really, when I say really, I don't. There's no one sitting around, and I don't do walk-ins. I noticed a question from Tiffany. Two questions. The first was, what are the advantages of using kinky hair to crochet braid in than two strand twist it versus using already twisted hair? Thank you for that question, Tiffany. I briefly covered that. Um, I prefer the loose two strand. Excuse me. I prefer the loose Afro kinky bulk hair to compare to the pre-twisted hair for crocheting in, because with crochet hair, it's like you mentioned, pre-twisted. So for an area I wanted to put on a braid base, it would only cover that one spot that I put the pre-twisted hair on. So that would require me to use a lot more twist to cover space. Whereas with loose hair, as you saw me kind of go in and put a patch of hair, it looked like a lot, but it really was just only this much hair to cover this much. And I got about 4 or 5 twists out of that, and it covers this whole space. So it doesn't really require me to use too much hair, and it could be a very flowy, light, and not bulky look. Whereas it could be very bulky pretty fast with the pre-twisted hair. So, and then what is it? Was it just preference? Okay, you can switch up the styles. Okay, and then the second question for Tiffany, what's the brand of hair you're using? I am going to cover hair brands and my preferences with which brands I go for in the Q&A section. That's going to be the last 10 minutes of the talk. But right now, I finished the installation of the twist. As you can see, this is how it would look if the client just left it hanging down. That's cute. You can also set them on rods to give a tight curl. You can pin it back, do a pompadour in the top, different things like that. Braid it, do a big twist to pin it up. So that's what adding the crochet braid does for a person who would have shorter hair length. And this was the hair length that the mannequin comes in. Very beautiful. I'm definitely like I'm a proponent for. I'm in support of whatever hair length you come with, because that's just natural hair. It's all beautiful from the shortest to the longest, but it's just about having options. So this is the mannequin's original full length. This is a flat twist with the 2-strand twist in the top of just no extensions added. And this is with the flat twist, adding a crochet braid for the 2-strand twist with a crochet braid in the crown of the hair. Now, the advantage of learning how to do a crochet braid 2-strand twist is kind of like it's great opportunity for you to create more income for you, to earn more. Obviously, it's a service that's going to require a little bit more time, so you can earn more by charging more, because it's going to take you a little bit more time to complete the service. But also you could incorporate merchandise to offer to your clients, or just do something for yourself by creating a wig. I'm going to reach for, this is a crochet wig that I made. It's a 2-strand twist wig. So pretty much the same technique that you saw me do here on a crochet braid pattern, you would do the same thing for a full-headed wig. And you can wash it, care for it. This is about a 2-year-old wig. So and there are a variety of wig caps available at your local beauty supply. If you're a person that does AliExpress or Alibaba, you can find such a variety of wig caps available at obviously cheaper rates than your local beauty supply. So we're going to get into, now we're going to get into the individual 2-strand twist extensions. And I'm working on this mannequin head. This is an old twist out I did, but back here I started some as a foundation for you to get a good representation of what the individuals would look like. And as you saw on the previous one, the lightweight hair curls on its own at the end in comparison to what we may be used to, the kinky twist. That hair you have to dip in hot water with the rollers on the end to get a spiral, to get a curl. And it's very coarse hair. It's very heavy. You cannot wash your hair with that style. Okay, so
I think that's actually a really great segment into, someone wrote a question to your Q&A. It looks like Kat Jones. Says, do you have a product you recommend to achieve the two-strand twist, or should the hair be wet? In quotations, in parentheses, rookie with the hair.
okay. I would say that's an excellent question. So when it comes to doing two-strand twists or two-strand twist extensions, my preference is to work on damp hair. Um, I would say it depends on your desired outcome on which one you would use, whether you work on stretched or damp hair. And it also depends on your texture. I have some clients, I'm going to start doing these two-strand twists, individual two-strand twist extensions. Um, and I, as far as clients, you have people who have, obviously, hair is going to be different, period. So with different textures, I apply different methods. I have clients who have looser hair textures, and I have to air dry their hair either under the hood or with a hand blow dryer. And, with that, it kind of creates a more afro texture of their hair so that I can actually create the two-strand twist and it not be so wavy. It has a more plump and uniform look throughout the head. Whereas someone with just a kinkier, coilier afro texture hair, I could go in there with damp, do the service on damp hair, and the outcome would be the same. It's just a matter of whether or not they want more length retention. So if you have kinkier, coilier hair, and you want more length retention, then you would do it on stretched hair. If you don't mind shrinkage, it could be done on damp hair. So that's just the variety. Or those are the things that create reason to change method depending on the person. But as far as product, my go-to product for two-strand twists, whether I'm using extension or not, is going to be the Tejan Twist and Define Cream. I really prefer that cream, and I do combine it with a little bit of gel. I'm not using any product on this mannequin because I don't want to waste product. We know how much these things can cost. But the Tejan has a nice density to its cream, and the texture is very smooth, and it applies to hair very easily. I don't have to use a lot. It's a very rich cream, and I come TGIN, and you can find them at like Target, Sally's, all different places. Even some of your local beauty supplies who are starting to sell natural hair products are incorporating products like that. It's black owned. She's actually from Detroit, the owner of Tejan. But I was gonna say that yeah, so I use the Tejan cream and I do combine it with a little bit of gel. I like to use extreme wet line gel in combination. That's just me. It really is fine without it, but especially on hair that has been stretched, is to give an added shine. So I will incorporate a little smear of the extreme wet line gel, but really any clear water-based gel could work in combination with the Tejan Twist and Define Cream. So with doing the two-strand twist extensions, I go in with a a fair amount of hair, not very much. And some people are used to braiders who kind of take hair and cross it. I don't like to do that. That to me that adds time, and doing anything is really about time and how much you can conserve it or be as efficient as possible. So I just have the hair, the stretch of hair. I take one leg of it and I split it in two. I take my pointer finger and put it right in the middle so I can have my three fingers ready to grab. At the base, at the base of the hair, I hold it very firm and take three sections or one section per leg. And once I section that off, I do start a braid. I do braid in my two strand twist extensions. The reason why I braid it in is because if if any of you in here have ever done two strand twists or seen them, they can get very fluffy, and especially at the root. So it's a way to control the roots of the hair, and as the hair grows out, it stays controlled. It never fluffs up. So after I braid down about an inch and a half to 2 inches, I take the third leg with the most hair and I split everything in two. Now it's just two legs out of the three. And with a firm grip, I'm twisting down. You want to have a bit of a firm grip because you want to control the hair, um, the client's hair, while it's being twisted in with the extension hair, um, so that you have like a flush, consistent look throughout the head of twist extensions. Twist two strand twist extensions and all of the styles that I showed you on the mannequins today is a service that I offer. Two strand twist extensions last up to 3 months. Now, some may think like 3 months, man, that's a long time. But actually, it's just really a style of convenience. You have people who are active or just don't really want to be bothered with their hair, and it's something to help you maintain a consistent moisturizing regimen, as well as just care for your hair without doing a lot of manipulation, which can lead to breakage and things like that. So. Um, the twist extensions are just another way to have low maintenance. So again, I'm gonna go in with a section of hair. I like to stretch it out because it helps it to not be so blunt at the end. The hair already curls naturally on its own, but it's just to have more of a feathered look at the end. So is this the section of hair? I take one leg and I split it in half, and then I go in right at the root and I begin to section off a piece of the client's hair to each leg of the extension hair. And once I do that, I begin to braid down. No, I appreciate you, Kat Jones. Thanks for tuning in. But I was gonna say, as far as this technique, I know this is it's kind of limited and limiting. I can't exactly see how well you can see what I'm doing. I do have a live tutorial of this full service, the two strand twist extension, on my YouTube channel. I do have a YouTube channel, and it's Such a Natural. An easy way to find it is just by typing in the search bar on YouTube, Such a Natural channel, and it's going to be the first thing that comes up. Sometimes it's the first thing that comes up when you just type in Such a Natural, but just so we're more direct, typing in Such a Natural channel will take you straight there. And it's called Two Strand Twist Extension Technique, but you'll see it because it's the only video like that on my channel. And it's a way for you to, have a better access to the technique that I'm doing. You could obviously start and stop it, and you can ask me questions. I'm always responding back to questions in the comment section, as well as text or call me. That information is in my video. Um, and then aside from that, I do have a few other tutorials on my YouTube channel. So it may be of use to you or someone that you know who is either a natural hair enthusiast or, does hair or wants to learn how to do hair or just likes watching natural hair videos. I'm that girl myself. I would say that it's easy. Maybe I'm not sure if it looks hard or anything like that, but it's quite easy and straight to the point once you get the basic of separating the hair and gripping the root. Aside from doing two-strand twist extensions, I do services like braided updos, finger coils. I do starter locks and lock extensions. I do wash and goes. Wash and goes, that's a style that is a moisture retention style, and it can be worn year round. I know a lot of people think that wash and goes are only for the summer, and it's actually a rather misleading title because it's not. You don't just wash and go. It literally is washing, conditioning, defining the curls, drying the hair. Then you're done. So, but yeah, I do offer that service. I also have a tutorial on that as well. I actually do quite a bit of different natural hairstyles. I'm not a hair colorist though, nor do I offer barbering services. I always like to put that out there because sometimes um, those things can seem automatically associated with someone who does hair. And this is a question from Tiffany. Where did you get your mannequin with that type of? I know, right? I had to do a lot of research, and if my memory serves me correctly, I want to say that the brand or website was Kinks and Coils or something to that effect. But if you type in Kinks and Coils mannequin head, it should come up on Google. Royal Kinks and Coils. I want to say that's what it was. But yeah, I actually, and this is really like this being on this platform today and being selected to have a talk for you all is really just a representation of preparation, where preparation meets opportunity. Because the reason why I even have these mannequin heads is because I was preparing for I was sponsored a space to teach a free class in Eastern Market. I was the first to ever have a pop-up class where I had full service salon presentation of me doing services such as a wash and go and a flat twist updo. And I had the mannequins heads there. I did a mannequin giveaway, but I actually purchased the mannequin heads because I wasn't sure I was going to have models. So, I'm thankful to have been prepared today because I couldn't get models today. So, and I was going to say that doing natural hair is really doing hair period was kind of like a rites of passage for me. I learned how to do hair at 13, and from then on it was my responsibility. So like every stage I went through was something I did. I didn't necessarily do it as a career or have clients until 2010 when I started in my career path of being a natural hairstylist. but there were people around me in my life who I would do things for. Like the first, like when I was 13, I learned how to do braids. So I was braiding my own hair, and I did like cornrow extensions on myself. That was like one of my first styles. And I was excited because I just felt empowered in that moment. And but what followed that was, of course, I had been relaxed. My parent relaxed me when I was a young girl, but after that point in time, wearing the braids and then graduating from high school and doing the weave, like I learned how to do a quick weave, so I was doing my quick weave and then the sew-in weave, and then I learned how to make wigs. And well, actually, after doing the sewing weave, I came out of weave altogether and I started locking my hair. And it's kind of like with this story, I'm just kind of illustrating how hair has been my rites of passion, because everything that I did with hair, I physically was doing, like learning a skill set and just developing myself as a creative. And when I got in, I actually did an apprenticeship for doing interlocking, and I did that for 6 months. And after that period of time, I just became so cute. Like doing natural hair was teaching me about natural hair, because even though I had personally just went natural myself with locking my hair in 2009, I didn't really know anything about natural hair. I didn't have really people around me who were doing it, because we got to remember that was during the time where it was just starting to pop in Detroit, especially, but just nationally and internationally as being more of an acceptable go-to style for people. So as I was learning and wearing it, as I was wearing it, I was learning and, cultivating and sculpting my craft to, building more skill sets and adding different services that I could do. And of course, it was trial and error because things that I could do today, I either couldn't or I wasn't as good at when I first started. Um, so I would say that. Oh, great, great. I'm glad you found the wig site, Tracy. Yeah, it was just like a proud moment for me, because it's so many, like, even like I got the term that comes to mind is catfish. I got catfish on the mannequin head. Like the one that was pictured was not even close to resemblance of what I received in the mail. Let's just put it that way. And because, I do natural hair, and this is like I specifically need it for my intentions, like it's disappointing. But either way, I'm happy. Um yeah. So, oh, also I do wig construction. Um, I do offer sew-in weaves, the kinky, curly, wavy, a natural replica of a natural style. Those are the types of weaves that I offer. But with the wig construction, it's the same. I'm actually wearing a wig that I made about 3 or 4 years ago, and as far as services, I do have a list of services and starting prices on my website, which is suchanaturalbeauty.com. I do have a Facebook page, and I'm generally sharing the things that I post for my Instagram page to my Facebook page, but my Facebook page is Such a Natural Beauty, and my Instagram handle is Such a Natural period beauty. So I'm I'm getting better at being more consistent posting, but I do have a variety of examples of my work on my Instagram page. So um, if you get the opportunity, feel free to scroll through, those examples, um, and leave. I always like suggestions. Maybe leave me some suggestions of what you may want to see as far as a tutorial goes, or as far as like the type of tutorial, the next tutorial I should do, or things like that. I'm very open to suggestions, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you all. Also, when it comes to if you ever want a book or have any questions about a specific hairstyle or anything of that nature, I could be text or called at 313-948-8957. That's amazing. Kat Jones is saying, I have some of your merch. You know what? I always get clients who say, I have a friend, I have a cousin, I have an aunt that would like this shirt. I'm going to get them this shirt or this tote bag. And I'm glad you brought up merch because I'm not like selling anything here, but I do want to mention what I have. I do make a handmade oil. It's I fluctuate between sweet almond oil base as the carrier oil or grapeseed oil, which are great. They're emollient, very hydrating, and they last long, saturate well. And I'll include essential oils such as citrus oils and botanicals. But I was going to say that that's an 8 ounce bottle that I make. And then aside from that, I do t-shirts. I have a t-shirt line. My salon is such a natural. So my t-shirt line is such a natural tease. And so I have t-shirts and tote bags for part of my t-shirt line. Um, yeah. So
You do have a question in your Q&A box. It's with the extreme wet line. You get the extreme hold.
okay, so extreme wet line is that's why I try to stress having a smear because it is a firm hold and it's not exactly drying or anything like that. It's just with gel, you have to be careful because it can give you a stiff look if you use too much. So that's why I like to be very light with it and let the twist and define cream by Tijan overpower, the ratio of what I'm applying to a particular section.
Nice. Well, I mean, honestly, I got my life over here because, yes, I didn't realize that you could get mannequins that way. And then I'm not even going to tell you how I felt when you told me that what you're wearing is a wig. Honey, I had no idea. I was like,
say you're not wearing a wig, but it was snatched.
snatched all the way, I promise, all the way off my head. I was like, what? I was tricked.
Yes.
So that's awesome. That looks amazing.
Thank you so much. That's my favorite. Like, I really enjoy the versatility. I know oftentimes people can feel very limited. Like, oftentimes when I speak about natural hair or think about natural hair, people, they always go to the twist outs or braid outs or things of that nature. But it's so many things that you can do with natural hair. And I just enjoy being able to represent that. Like, I look at my clients as walking billboards.
You represent it well, let me tell you. I definitely wrote down your location. Please remind your audience where they can find you because honestly, it's like me at least, my search for natural hair care has not been quite fruitful. So I am very happy to have met you today.
Yes, it's been a pleasure as well, Ivana. I was going to say that as far as, and that's amazing because I guess on being on the stylist end of things, I would kind of like know this, but it's so many natural hair stylists and salons in the city of Detroit. And I'm always shocked to find that people never can find them. Like, I don't know if it's
somebody keeping secrets. Okay? Somebody I don't understand what it is. Somebody's keeping secrets because don't get me wrong, I know of a couple, but You know, I got recommended one particular place, and then I went, and then I was like, well, I was kind of expecting a little bit more, and I went back to the person who recommended it to me, and they were like, what? They did such a good job on my plate, you know, my hair, and I'm like, okay. And I just left it at that, you know, and I was like, all right, well, this isn't a recommendation. I watched you do hair, honey. That was lovely.
That's the best. That's the best concept. That's why social media is such a buzz, because you could test the waters before you invest.
Yes. I was looking at this mannequin. I was like, wow, this looks like, wow, look, it's my hair. It's my hair. Look, if I washed it, that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's ridiculous. It's a shrinker too, so I promise you it looked like that length and everything.
Sweet. I was gonna say, and then that's a great topic to bring up. Shrinkage, that is actually like it could be taboo amongst people who wear natural hair, but it's actually like it's very healthy. And when you think about your skin, you want your skin to have elasticity. So for your hair to represent that is actually great, because you don't want the opposite. You don't want the heat
right. Because then if it doesn't, then that means it's dry, right?
It just means it's damaged, whether or not it's from heat or different styles that you've been wearing. Like sometimes even people don't wear heat, but maybe they've been wearing braids so consistently that their hair just stays stretched in that state and it doesn't bounce back.
Right. Wow. That's, you know what, that explains a lot. I spent my first 12 years of life in braids. Okay. I promise you. The quicker you can get it washed, the quickest they will throw it back in braids. It was
true.
It was a lot. My whole family did it. We all had braids. It was great. But no, I was just telling your audience, you do still have a few people who are still here watching you do this amazing work. If you have any additional questions, guys, now is definitely the time. Mo is here at 7:50. She's not going to be here much longer. So definitely drop those questions or any comments, or if you want to look, you know, for social media anymore. I was able to catch her website. I put a website up there. Definitely visit her website. She's got merchandise, you guys. Support this beautiful entrepreneur. Excuse me. Support her. Seriously, you see that she has beautiful advice and beautiful skills to offer. You said you've been doing this for about 10 years?
Yeah, so I've been doing natural hair for 10 years around Metro Detroit, and I started in the Midtown area working at Healing Art Studio. That's where I did my interlocking apprenticeship, and from there I was working at Little Willie's hair salon. And Little Willie is kind of like not just the Detroit celebrity; he's kind of like renowned. But that's a straight hair salon. So the advantage for, as my first salon ever working as a natural hairstylist, being having that comparison of being in a room full of people who still work with relaxers and straight hair, it was a bit of an eye opener of not only society's impression of natural hair, but also how to maintain my perseverance, because you know you could be up against certain mentalities that can kind of make you feel overcome, like what you're doing is like without a purpose, because you know, like I said, you have 8 other stylists doing straight hair and you just doing natural hair, and what, you know, they do speak their mind about it. Like I don't think that's good.
See, I mean, you ever see the picture where you line up all the coins and you see Lincoln and Lincoln's facing the other way, you know? Okay. And like, how do you think Lincoln feels? You know what I mean? But he's Lincoln, you know? Okay? So he's Lincoln. So you can't even really look at it that way when you look at it in that perspective. Okay? But I get what you mean. And it's interesting you brought up Little Willie. Oh, geez. I believe, is that the same stylist that was doing hair shows?
Hair shows, yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about. It's interesting because Detroit had such a huge hair show like community. I don't know if they still do or not. I don't know if I can speak to that currently.
Yeah, the thing about hair shows, they did start to incorporate spotlight hair shows into the fashion shows, but the reason why hair shows are not as big as they were is because okay, you invest so much into the like leading up to the hair show. You get your models, you get your makeup, you get your hair, you get all of these costumes, whatever, and you actually pay to enter. And where's the return on your investment when you have people taking pictures and taking those pictures to their stylist? It's not predetermined that you will get an influx of business from being on that platform. So it just became people realizing that, like I would say social media is not a hair show, you know, for
You know,
free.
you know, and in that regard, social media also allows you to not only broadcast your work, but also you can literally get paid for your work while doing so. Like you know what I'm saying? Let's say this is one of your clients and you go live, you're getting paid once and then you're showing someone else the quality of your work and possibly
That's
getting you
true.
booking. So there's a difference in that.
That's true. And I actually that's a great point to bring up because I actually had often felt times just intermittently throughout the 10 years, times of discouragement because I didn't feel like I was being heard or seen. But it's like you never know, like it's all time release, life period. It's things that I've done years ago and people be like, I had your card from 2 years ago and I'm just not wanting to get my hair done. Or I saw you did X, Y, and Z's hair, or I've been following you. I have I have Instagram, and we all know that you have quote unquote ghost followers or lurkers. But it's people who I have to try to turn my mentality into my page is a billboard. Like people will see what I'm doing, and they may not be interactive, but I still may on the back end receive some sort of support. So it's been
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to understand that person now knows your brand. And that's powerful because it's now familiar to them. It's now something they can speak to. And as long as you represent yourself, transparently and with integrity, then that person will literally ultimately be like you said, a walking billboard. They don't ever actually have to be a client. And that's the really cool part about being an entrepreneur, right? You're the one who's in control of that all of that. I should say. But yeah, you guys, honestly, you're so inspiring. Like your entire story is beautiful. I will tell you that.
I appreciate that. It's
No
still
problem.
evolving, and it's like that. I just realized, obviously, but you just learn more and more that it's all about relationships, and you never know who is who or who knows who. So just do your best.
Absolutely. And look, you have someone who went to your site and realized they have things. They possess
Just by happenstance,
they possess your merch. That's awesome. That's amazing. You know what I mean? That means there's someone else who has, spoken highly or maybe gifted or what have you. And so much love to you. Thank you so much for being here and offering your expertise to us and the panelists. Thank you so much for being here as well and hanging out with us and learning and being so awesome. Honestly, amazing evening because I learned how to do my hair. So
I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm so thankful to be here, and I'm glad for the people who are attending. I appreciate you taking the time out to tune in. It means a lot. And like they've mentioned, this is going to be saved to YouTube. So, they're going to send out announcements as to where you can find all of that soon. So be on the lookout.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. And so definitely look forward to a full day of summits that we have available for you tomorrow on Friday as the end of the week does approaches. It's not a full day like we had obviously right here. We're already going almost to 8 o'clock.
You know what? I am so glad that you said that, Tiffany, because it slipped my mind. So hair brands.
There you go. Do it. Go for it.
All right. So the hair brands that I prefer to use are Noir, and I have a package for you so you can see what that looks like. It's mostly you're gonna mostly primarily find this particular brand at all of the at least Detroit local beauty supplies, Metro Detroit as well, some of the suburban areas. Then also we have This is by Sensational. Now this is a like newer that I've been seeing this particular type, and this is more going to be your spring twist style, where it has a bit of a different outcome compared to this look, but it still is a two-strand twist extension. It's a very nice look. It's very lightweight here as well. Also, you have the Nady, or sorry, Katie Natural, and they're online strictly. Now this, even though it's online, I'm gonna get to why I'm usually against online purchases as far as hair. But this particular brand is so consistent. I've never had any inconsistencies with them. So I use either the Spring Twist or the Bomb Twist Hair by Katie Natural. If you just Google that, their site will come up. And then the last one is the Expression. You can see that Expression Twisted Up. They are newer. I've Within the last year, I would say, is when I started incorporating the use of this particular brand, and it's great. Like, it's really my favorite hair to use. The only thing is, locally, you're only going to find colors 1 through 4, and the colors are going to be a little bit darker than what they appear. But those are the colors that I use. And if you have any other questions about hair, as far as brands or anything like that, you could just text or call me at 313.
There you go.
948-8957. Thanks for that, Tiffany. You on it.
Ain't she? I love it. And thanks, I told you guys, participants have been amazing. It is 8 o'clock. We do have to go, guys. Go ahead and copy and paste that number really, really quick. But thank you again. Have a good evening. And thank you for being here at Detroit Startup Week 2020 Virtual Edition.
Yes.
Good night.
Right.